Now, it seemed like there was you had to deal with some emotions because when Latrice was going to be sent home and you had to deal with voting for her, having her go, that really took a toll on you.
Oh my God, I was crying like a fucking baby. And that wasn't even the shit they showed on camera. Like
Wow.
when she got eliminated, I was just like bawling. And there's just something about when you go on to a show like that, like you just have all this like energy and emotion and fear and happiness and excitement and nervousness, and it sometimes will just fall out. And I was just hoping to God it wasn't going to be on camera. But it was a little bit of what it was. And I mean, it was sad because I felt like I let her down because we got sent home on season 1 because I didn't do a good enough lip sync against Jujubee, and so we both got sent home. And so I thought like I had kind of failed her. And then like things were coming in, like my personal life were coming down on me, and I was just like having a really hard time.
Oh boy.
Because like at that point, like Latrice was my girl, and like in that competition, it's like nice to have someone that you know you can trust. And when she was gone, I was like, I don't trust none of these bitches over here.
Right? And that was probably wise.
Yeah.
Was it hard to watch back? You're like, oh God, here comes the part where I'm gonna cry for 2 episodes.
No.
No.
I don't. I don't really like rewatch them all over. Like,
You're not at home with your husband.
like let's watch it again.
Let's watch it. Let's go back to season 3.
No, actually, no. I try not to because my experience, like, I don't know. It's just weird.
I get it. All you girls talk about having PTSD from it and not wanting to watch it at all.
It's tough. Yeah, it's crazy. It brings back memories. Yeah.
Now, the gag of the century, the moment you were robbed, when you were sent home by Naomi Smalls, who just before that had told you how much she looked up to you. What was going through your head on that day and then in the moment of elimination?
I kind of figured that she was going to send me home. I knew for sure Monet was going to send me home. You know, until I saw the lip sync when she was just standing there, and I was like, okay, well, she's not going to send me home. not just Charlie hiding it there, just standing there. But I was like, okay, well, maybe Naomi, because we had been working together in a few of the challenges, and I was really like, you know, I was rooting for her because I really like her. So like, it was a little bit like, oh, okay. But I get it. Like, you know, you gotta take out the big competition if you have a chance. I knew that if I was in the bottom, that I would probably get sent home because at that point I had just been slaying the fucking competition like week after week after week, and these other girls were just kind of like doing the opposite.
That is the truth.
So, I mean, I had tried in the beginning of the first few episodes to kind of like, you know, fly under the radar, but like after episode 2 and I did the girl group challenge and I was like kind of in the low end of the ranking, I was like, okay, let's not do that anymore. So let's just start winning now.
Yeah.
But if I was going to be in the bottom, it should have been earlier on in the season when I was pretending not to be a threat. Yeah, as opposed to like later on in the season when I was like, definitely a threat. So I totally knew that the second I was in the bottom, I would probably be going home. But I don't think I should have been in the bottom. That's the team.
Right, exactly.
Because you saw my husband, he looked fierce.
Yes.
Yeah, like you saw some of the other makeovers.
Well said. So after you were eliminated and they tried to tell you to go back to the hotel, did you stay outside and wait for Naomi Smalls in the shadows to get your revenge?
No, I knew the fans were going to do it for me.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, the funny thing is that like everyone was like so scared of like, I was scared of like sending Valentina home because you know, her fans are like crazy. We watched that on her season 9, her fans, you know, being very vocal on social media. But I don't think people were expecting my fans to be as like Valentina fans as they were. I feel bad for you know, the negative effects that come with sending a queen home. And that's the scariest part about All Stars is that RuPaul's like, yeah, I don't want to have that. Like, they have their millions of followers. Like, I don't need that. Let the girls do the dirty work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? It's like the mob boss, like, yeah, babyface, take care of it. You know what I
Now, what did you think of the final double crowning?
I thought that was great, especially because like, like my elimination on episode 8 was such like a gag, like they needed another big gag, and just crowning Trinity by herself wasn't going to be a gag enough. I don't think so. I like the fact that they did a double crowning.
Manila, it's time to play a little game. We're going to play a game called Manila Looks On. In this game, we're going to show you some of the iconic looks you wore in All Stars 4, and you'll tell us your inspiration for them.
Okay. I love this.
These looks, sweetie, I mean, everything was so good. All right, look number 1, your entrance look. Stunning, your Big Bird run over on the race, right?
Yup. Those are actually the original tights I wore on season 3. So I was happy to like make a little callback to that. That Big Bird lip sync that I did to MacArthur Park was like a really big defining moment for me back in season 3. And so I thought that it would be really nice to kind of like do a throwback to that look coming back into the competition, because like many years had gone by, and I'm sure like there's a lot of people that kind of were like, they don't really watch the season, but they probably know about that lip sync. So like, oh yeah, that's the one. That's the queen, So it was for branding purposes.
Sweetie, you knew how to brand every single time. Did you design all these looks, or what was the creative process?
Most of my looks I design, and then I like collaborate with a bunch of different designers and costume makers, and we make it work with what budget I have.
You got to do it post-haste, or else you'll be like Latrice in the parking lot in front of All Stars being like, what do you mean you don't have my gowns?
Oh my God, yes, but that happened to me. Luckily, there was a few outfits that I had backups for, because I was not, getting ready for All Stars was so stressful, because all of us queens, we kind of share the same designers. So it's like, who can call first and who can whatever. And then the designers are like, oh yeah, actually I think the other girl's gonna win more, so I'm gonna do hers first. Ooh. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of like do that. There's that competition to bear, just to get your outfits ready.
Right, the All Stars preparation competition.
Yes.
All right, let's look at this eloquent outfit.
Oh.
Stunning, that's your favorite.
Oh my God.
It's really gorgeous.
That was a gift, that dress, the gown. It was from my friend who makes me costumes, Christian Saturuski. And he does drag for the Best in Show pageant for HIV and AIDS fund or benefit. And he had been wearing that for years. And all I had to do was like reinforce the zipper and add a couple more rhinestones, but the thing was just flawless. Like it was so gorgeous. But like he gave it to me because like he had worn it to death. Like it was like everyone was like, "Girl, you still wearing that gown?" So he's like, "Here, Manila, you can have it." And I was like, "Yeah, because I'm gonna wear the fuck out of this." He's like, "Well, she's got about like 3 or 4 more wears in her before she falls apart completely." But that dress is gorgeous.
Let's look at the Lollapalooza extravaganza look. Manila. So good. This is spaghetti meatballs.
So good.
Yeah, that was a dress that I had been wanting to design, and I designed it for my costume lookbook, Fine Opera Couture, available at ManilaLuzon.com/store, and then. I got the call for All Stars, and I was like, okay, well, let me not photograph it because I'm going to take this to the show. I don't know what it's for, but I'm going to take it just in case they're like, put on some cute outfit. And I was so lucky that I got the immunity on that episode so I could wear whatever the fuck I wanted because I didn't have to lip sync or anything in it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I wore that out and I had I drew peanut butter and I had to like do twerk in that costume against Jasmine Masters? Bitch, I would have been sent home.
Let's look at Plastic Fantastic. Oh, yes.
I'm really proud of this one. This is one of my looks that I actually made myself. Yeah, and I actually made it on set because it was all this plastic wrap that I was like, it'd be easier for me to just like tape it onto the outfit there than to like do it, then crumple it up and then pull it out of the suitcase. So it was a fun thing, and it was actually one of the cheaper looks that I made. Because I had spent coins on this fucking package to go back to All
Obviously.
Stars, and I was running out of money, and I was like, let me just get some sheets of plastic, and that's gonna be my dress.
Now let's take a look at some of the unaired looks, but they are still gag-worthy. We have kitty cat realness.
Meow.
Wow, that one is stunning.
Thank you. One of the runways was Kitty Couture. And, you know, like, so many ideas come to mind. Funnily enough, like, there was like 3 or 4 queens that had the same kitty cat look, which was, I was like gagged because I was like, really? Like, of all the cat looks? But this one was great because I wanted to do, because I'm Asian, I wanted to like be the Siamese cats from Lady and the Tramp. We are Siamese.
Okay, and now we come to the gag, the other gag of them all, the maxi pad dress. The look that was denied finally gets its due.
Yeah, actually, I had a shorter version of this dress that I used to take on tour. And so when we got the category padded for the gods, I was like, what is padded? And I was like, okay, well, a maxi pad's padded. Oh, that maxi pad dress, let me just make it into a gown. And then I was like, I'm probably not gonna be able to wear this dress, so I should probably bring it back up.
And they were like, you were correct.
Yes,
You
they were
cannot.
like, you can't wear that on TV. And I was like, but why? I had a speech and everything.
A speech?
Well, I mean, because like, you know, it's like a normal function, you know? We see Sharon Needles walk down the runway with blood coming out of her mouth.
Right.
What's the difference?
Right. It's merely a pad.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with it.
You know, I tried to make it classy. It's not like it was like splattered with like blood to make it look like grotesque. It was done elegantly. I wanted to send a message to my young female fans that, you know, like, it's a normal thing, and you can still be fabulous even on your period.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you really just, the looks were just chef's kiss.
Thank
just
you.
so perfect, so good.